Well, iOS 14 has officially came out and we get to look at it on the iPhone 7 Plus. Now, in this video, I'll go and hit on basically all the new features, or basically the main ones that I like. But surprisingly, I'll do a speed test at the end of this against iOS 13 on an iPhone 7 Plus to see which one is the fast one. If I had to say, maybe iOS 13 is going to be the fast one, but once we get there, I'll go ahead and show you that. Okay, stop trying to rush me. Now I'll be honest, okay? The very first question I'm gonna see basically from everyone is, should I install iOS 14 on the iPhone 7 Plus right now, day one when it comes out? And I'll probably tell you, probably not. It's probably not the best idea, but also it's pretty stable. There's still some issues with it. Is my iPhone 7 Plus bent? It kind of looks bent. There's some issues with it for sure, but I still think at the end of the day, it's a good update for sure. It's a great update when it comes down to the features, but the stability is still a little iffy, so keep that in mind. I'm just kind of giving my opinion. However, I have installed iOS 14, the beta, on pretty much all my devices from day one, you know what I mean? And pretty much the 7 series, including the regular iPhone 7, was a pretty good experience. It wasn't slow by any means, it wasn't horrible, and I think that actually says a lot. With previous versions of iOS, I've had lots of bad experiences. I've had boot loops and break devices, and I had to totally restore them. And in this case, it really wasn't like that, which is something that's really, really important to state. So I think, in my opinion, when it comes down to it, I think, it's probably good if you update it. It doesn't really matter. Now, one of the more important features that have came out, which is a visual difference, would definitely be the widgets, as you guys can see. And on a big display like this, it definitely looks really, really good. Like, I love having all this real estate, as well as still maintaining these widgets, which is something that's really awesome. And as you can see, I have one here in the corner, and I think that's it, but what's really awesome is if you swipe to the left, you'll see a ton of new widgets that are available. And you already know everybody's going to say, bro, Androids have had that for years, but iPhones have just gotten it, and I think it's worth mentioning. And as you can see, there's a ton of cool ones. There's a battery one, there's a calendar one. You can even click edit here, and you can see a lot more widgets that are available. And what's really cool is, from what I'm hearing, I don't know if I read this on Reddit or wherever, but apparently Apple is going to open this up to developers. So developers from different apps, including Spotify or Snapchat or Instagram, Twitter, whoever, can actually go and add their own widgets. And I'm really excited to see what they're going to add here. Like, what could they possibly do with these widgets? There's a ton of different things, but what are they going to choose for it? And I think that's going to be something that's going to be really awesome in the future. So not only will we get full app updates here, but we'll also get these widgets from these apps too that can add even more information for us. Hopefully we can get some type of, Game Boy Advance Simulator widget so we can just play games on our screen. I think that'd be really awesome, but I think that's definitely one of the more important features. We also have, if you swipe all the way to the right, this new app library, which is right here. And basically this shows us all the apps that we have on our panel right here, so we don't have to search for it. And we can also hide apps on these main panels if we want to. If you don't want to, have an app that's, people are able to see it here, we can go and kind of hide it here. Now, let's say you don't know where an app is. It's broken down into folders. Let's say you don't know whether it's under entertainment or business or whatever. You can just swipe down from here and see all of your apps right here. And like I said, on a big display like the iPhone 7 Plus, it looks really, really good. I've said that like 3 times already. And you can see swiping through looks perfectly fine. Now, it does kind of give me like iOS 7 type of vibes, like I said before, but I still think it looks really good. And I really, really do like it at the end of the day. So definitely when it comes down to it, the app library is really cool, but I still think one of the best features within iOS 14 would still have to be picture-in-picture. Now, this is so funny because we've had this with like so many other devices and jailbreak tweaks and all that, but we actually do have picture-in-picture now. So as you can see, I'm playing the video from yesterday's Apple event, and you can see how, just it's up in the corner. It's so intuitive. You can go and put it in the corner if you want to right there. And it just looks so good. You can resize it, you can make it bigger and smaller, and I think this is definitely one of my favorite things with iOS 14. The widgets look great, everything else looks great, but I just think there's just something about picture-in-picture. I just love being able to do multiple things. You can swipe it to the side right here and still listen to it, and I literally cannot wait until YouTube is, suitable for this, because I don't think the YouTube app supports this yet, but until they do, I'm going to be using it on their web browser, and I think it looks really, really nice. And the same thing goes for FaceTime calls. If you're calling somebody on FaceTime, it'll basically go down in the same exact way, so you can FaceTime them while you're doing something else. So that's another really, really awesome thing as well. We also have a new call UI, so when somebody calls us, it doesn't take up the whole entire display. It just, pops down from the top, so that's a really awesome thing as well. And we also have a new Siri type of style. As you can see, it doesn't take up the whole entire display. It just takes up the small little thing. And look how just beautiful it looks up when it just pops up. It just looks so cool. I just do that all day now. It's so funny. but it looks really nice. Now, you can't use your phone while you're doing Siri, but I still think it's fine. I don't think it's that big of a deal. Now, we also have new security updates as well. So as you guys know, you've probably heard about it, iOS 14 will basically let us know if an app is snooping or, resources in the background. So if they're using our microphone or camera without our permission or without us realizing it, it'll basically notify us, which is a really, really awesome thing. And I think in the future, that's going to be probably detrimental to these companies, as Facebook said, but I still think it's a really, really awesome thing, and I really do like that. Now, we also have new features with AirPods as well. So basically with iOS 14, it brings in these new spatial audio features, it brings in automatic device switching, low battery alerts, and optimized battery charging, which is really cool. So not only is it a big update for iPhones, it's also a big update for iOS devices too, which, like I said before, is really, really, really awesome, and I really do like that. So that really pretty much covers up all the main things I wanted to hit on. I'll go ahead and do a speed test between iOS 14 and iOS 7 and iOS 13 on iPhone 7 Plus. So I have my setup right here, so let me go ahead and bounce over there and show you guys a speed comparison. Alright, so let's go ahead and get into it. Now I'll go ahead and increase the brightness here, and I think I already have all the apps cleared out in the background, as you guys can see. So let's go and start loading them up. I know it's kind of at a weird angle, but we gotta do what we gotta do. Got the App Store, 3, 2, 1. iOS 13, so iOS 13 is the white iPhone, iOS 14 is the black iPhone. I don't know what's going on with this phone. I don't know, it's like a network issue or something. We'll just kind of not let do that one. But I have a ton of these third-party apps downloaded right here. Let's do Facebook, 3, 2, 1. And iOS 13 again is faster. Like I said, I don't know what's going on with iOS 14. It was working a second ago. I updated to it. Maybe there's a network issue now. That was very, very weird. I'll do Twitter, 3, 2, 1, and probably going to run into that same exact issue. Nope. Okay, now it works. And I think that one was faster too than iOS 13. Let's do Snapchat, 3, 2, 1. And yeah, about the same on both. There wasn't really that big of a difference between them. Do Snake versus Blocks, 3, 2, 1. And iOS 13 was a little bit faster there. They both were almost identical though, but definitely I think that one was a little bit faster. Gameplay wise, again, they look kind of the same, not too big of a difference between them. I'll do Fruit Ninja, 3, 2, 1. And same exact pop-up on both, so let me go ahead and get through it. 3, 2, 1. And iOS 13 was the faster one, followed by iOS 14 eventually. They both were, they weren't crazy far from each other, but you can definitely tell iOS 13 was definitely closer. Stack, 3, 2, 1. iOS 13 was able to get into the ad faster, followed by iOS 14. We do Netflix, 3, 2, 1. Okay, I think iOS 13 was just like slightly faster there. Quizlet, 3, 2, 1. And iOS 13 again was a little bit faster. Dropbox, 3, 2, 1. And again, I think iOS 13 was faster there again. Let's go ahead and load up Temple Run 2, 3, 2, 1. I hate loading up the original Temple Run because I never know if it's on the main menu panel or if it's on the actual menu panel, whatever it is. And it's looking like iOS 13 was actually the faster one, followed by iOS 14. They both kind of stuttered up a little bit, which is really weird because it's not even that intensive of a game. But as you can see, iOS 13 was able to get into it faster, followed by iOS 14. Getting into some gameplay, let's see if they stutter at all. And I don't think they are. It's a pretty basic game, but I didn't think it would stutter from the main menu panel either. And they look about the same. I don't think it's that big of a difference between the two. I do Bofa, 3, 2, 1. And again, iOS 13. Let's go and end it off with the Road Racing 3, 3, 2, 1. Hopefully I don't have to download it on either one of these, and it doesn't, it kind of glitched up a little bit, but and we're still loading. Okay, we changed the panel on the iOS 13 device, and I think that one will probably load up faster. I've been seeing on all my other devices that it actually, and you can see it loaded up faster. It just seems to me that on all my iOS 13 devices, it looks faster than iOS 14. As you can tell, this is a pretty big difference. They're both the same phone. They're both the same, different software. That's the main difference. And I don't know what's going on. It's just kind of weird. And I'll show you the benchmark right after this too. This video is going to be super long. And we're fully loaded here. Okay, as you can see, we do eventually get into it on iOS 14. It took so much longer than I thought. Now let me go ahead and show you guys the benchmark score that I just got on both. And as you can see, now these numbers are probably totally off, but we have totally different scores. 767 single core score, 1343 on multi-core score for iOS 13, and 332 for single core score, and 909 for multi-core score. So, I mean, maybe the iOS 14 device is slower overall than iOS 13. I kind of saw that, but again, it's just kind of weird that we're seeing these bigger differences between the two. So when it comes down to it, I'll probably tell you that iOS 14 is probably a little bit slower than iOS 13 that I've been seeing on all my devices. But I still think for the features that you're getting, it's still a really good update. And the sad thing is that iOS 13 is probably still more stable. So like I said, I would probably end up waiting a little bit longer if this is your main device. But still, I think iOS 14 is a great software. If you're okay with losing a little stability, which I wouldn't be okay with, then go for iOS 14. But iOS 13 I think is still good for the most part too. So that really pretty much covers it up. If you guys have any other questions or anything, let me know in the comment section below. Hit the like button, that means so much, but definitely hit that subscribe button. Every single subscriber that we get really does count, so it means so much if you guys can hit that. Also check out the other links down in the description as well. My Twitter, my Instagram, my second channel. More importantly, everything else, I love every single one of you guys. Hopefully I'll catch you guys in the next video. Peace out till then.